Major changes are coming to Magic Arena next week. Let's talk the good, the bad, and the ugly. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. We are here today to talk about some changes they are making to Magic Arena. Some of them are super exciting to me, and some of them make me go, eh, and some of them make me go, ooh. All right, so let's dive in. What are we starting with? Well, we're starting with the most exciting part to me. Introducing War of the Spark Chronicles. Funny that they would use the name Chronicles. Anybody who's played Magic for a long time, the word Chronicles will make some people go, ah, and some people go, all right. I'm one of the all right guys when it comes to Chronicles. We can talk about that in another video though. So let's talk about War of the Sparks Chronicles. Reading from the article, War of the Spark was one of the most ambitious sets in Magic the Gathering history, featuring dozens of planeswalkers, and the finale of a story years, or in the case of a certain Elder Dragon, millennia in the making. Well, they botched that with the book 100%, boys. God, did they screw that up with the book. The novel was terrible. They botched some of the story aspect. But moving on. I'm not bitter. We wanted to give players the chance to experience this story while playing MTG Arena. I like this. I like the idea of them bringing the story to MTG Arena. So we wanted to give players a chance to experience the story while playing Magic Arena and learn more about the plane of Ravnica and its planeswalker defenders. With these goals in mind, the May update is bringing a brand new story-driven event series. Oh, I love the sound of that. A brand new story-driven event series. War of the Spark Chronicles. Every week, we'll be highlighting one of the pivotal moments in the War of the Spark story through the events you can play in. And let me reread this. Every week we'll be highlighting one of the pivotal moments in the War of the Spark story through the events you can play in and the new stained glass planeswalker card styles you can earn. That's right, boys. You heard that correctly. Boys and girls, get hyped with me because I am super excited about this. I adore stained glass. I love it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I remember sitting inside of churches when I was a young lad and my mom would take me to them, just staring at the windows. They're marvelous. Stained glass is gorgeous. And these planeswalker skins look fantastic. We're going to put an image up here on the screen for you where you can see Gideon Blackblade coming on down with the Blackblade in stained glass. He looks pretty good. Ajani looks fantastic. That Ajani stained glass looks great. And Tamiyo looking mighty fly as well. Although admittedly, I wish the Tamiyo artwork had a little more color to it. I like colorful stained glass. Ajani, out of the three we're looking at here, Ajani is the most gorgeous. But either way, they're bringing stained glass planeswalker skins, which is dope. And the news actually gets better. This is pretty cool too. Something else that's new with these events is the reward track. While most of the events in Magic Arena allow you to play until a certain number of wins or losses, with these events, you can just keep playing. You'll earn rewards based on your total number of wins, and it doesn't matter how many games you play in order to get there. For formats that require a constructed deck, you'll be able to make changes to your deck without having to start the event over. And while all games will contribute towards daily quest rewards or weekly win bonuses, the event rewards can only be earned once. So instead of this situation where you play and you get these rewards over and over, because it's a skin, once you get the skin, you wouldn't get, like, let's say you're playing in an event where they would have, you win a Gulta if you win 5, like to pick an old event, it's like you win this particular common if with the special art if you win 1 game, and if you win 5 games, we'll give you a special art Gulta. Well, you would need to play 4 times in that event to get yourself 4 Gultas, and that's if you didn't scrub out and lose. In this case, there is no losing out of the event. You just get to keep playing. On top of that, the prize are skins, so you only need 1. You only need to get the prize once. There's no multiple iterations of the prizes. So I like this. I like the fact that you can just keep going. There's no feel bad scrubbing out part of it. So for formats that require a constructed deck, you'll be able to make changes to your deck without having to start the event over. And while all games will contribute towards daily quest rewards or weekly win bonuses, the event rewards can only be earned once. I like that. And did we mention no entry fee? You don't have to spend any of your gold or gems to do this. Another beautiful moment. I'm pretty sure we did, but since it bears repeating, you'll be able to play and keep playing these events without having to spend any gold or gems. And each win will bring you closer to unlocking one of those stunning stained glass styles using the art originally showcased in the War of the Spark teaser trailer. Again, I'm so stoked about the stained glass. It makes me so like, I can't wait. I can't wait. These events will have new styles you can earn every week. Oh, yes. Yes. I hope they do it for a whole bunch of weeks. And additional card styles will be available for purchase in the store. The stained glass card styles are something I would consider spending my gems on. Styles don't normally appeal to me very much and I don't care about them, but the stained glass ones are so beautiful. So beautiful. So, when acquired, these stained glass styles will also feature special flavor text chosen specifically for these events, many of which were pulled directly from the War of the Spark Ravnica novel by Greg Weisman. Yeah, remember I said the good, the bad, and the ugly? Well, this is bad and ugly rolled together. War of the Spark quotes from that dreadful book written by a ham-fisted fool who couldn't write a book if his life depended on it. Not a good one. Not a good, he can write a book, but not a good one. Good Lord, that book was terrible. So part 1 will begin with the update on May 23rd when War comes to Ravnica. And we have a screenshot here of what the event's going to look like. Number 1, Ravnica at War - Momir. Part 1 is Momir. No deck required. We'll provide a deck for you to play consisting of basic lands and the 36 War Planeswalkers. Ravnica City of Guilds, anything and everything can be found on this worldwide cityscape. Grand halls, decrepit slums, and ancient ruins are interwoven amid the maze of streets, bustling markets, and shadowy back alleys. For the citizens of Ravnica, intrigue and opportunity are as abundant as the 10 ruling guilds vie for power, wealth, and influence. Balanced on the edge of a precarious peace, the city grew and flourished until the planar bridge opens, unleashing death and destruction. And then they've got a little experience the story link. Now, I have no idea where that link will take you. Below it, you can see the little logo for Momir events. Now, for those of you who don't know, Momir events actually started out on MTGO. Momir events are a lot of fun because of their random nature. What happens is every turn you get to generate one token creature, and that token creature will be randomly selected from all the creatures in Arena based on the casting cost. So if you spend 2 mana, it will randomly pick one creature that costs 2 mana out of every single creature in Arena and put a token out of that. It's a very interesting format with different strategic choices, and it's open to everybody on equal footing, which I very much like. So Momir is a good choice. And if you take a look, we can see the prize track underneath as well. You can play again as many times as you want, and you can see once you get 0/3 wins, that's weird. I don't know why it says 0/3 wins. I guess it's just to count up to your first 3 wins. That part's a little bit weird. But you can see with your 0/3 wins, you're going to get a style. Then once you get up to 6 wins, you're going to get some gold. Once you hit 9 wins in the event in total, you're going to get another style. Once you get 12 wins, you get some more gold. And once you get 15 wins, you get another style. Now, this seems like a good way to encourage people to play in events as well, because some of those events where it was like, we're going to give you a special style of a common and a special style of a mythic, or a big rare at the end, you would be like, oh, I don't care about Firemind's research. I just want to get the Llanowar Elves. So you just play one game, drop from the event. Play one game, drop from the event. Play one game, drop from the event. Like, get your win and drop. 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 Now you're done. I'm leaving. I've got my 4 Llanowars. With this, you can keep going and keep going until you get the wins that you need. If you're not that good at Magic, but you can still squeak out a win here or there, you're not going to be excluded from the highest tiers, which is nice. And so I imagine that these 3 skins are the 3 stained glass walkers that I showed you in the previous screenshot. But overall, this looks nice, and I like the fact that they have stained glass artwork for the back of this too. I'm super excited about this event, honestly. It looks pretty dope. This, to me, is the most exciting part of the announcements about Arena. The next announcement that they've made is the Mythic Championship Qualifier Weekend. For those of you who finished in the top 1,000 of Mythic ranked players in either Limited or Constructed during Ravnica Allegiance Season 1 or Season 2, the qualifier weekend is just around the corner. If you've logged in recently, you should have seen an in-game notification congratulating you on your achievement, as well as the new badge on your profile page confirming your qualification. This is the important part, so we're going to bold the text for those of you skimming. If you believe you qualified, so if you think that you were in the top 1,000 for Season 1 or Season 2 of Ravnica Allegiance, and you don't have the profile badge, you need to contact customer service right away. On Saturday, May 25th, there'll be a special in-game event for day 1 of play, and you will need that badge in order to participate. As far as I understand, you have to have contacted customer support by the 23rd, because I read more about this over on the official, like, big, longer notes, but that's not part of this video, so I'm not going to get into that. I will quickly put up the image on the screen there showing you what the Mythic Qualifier badge looks like, so make sure you go into your profile and check that it's there if you think you qualified, and if it's not there, make sure to contact customer support. So, other important information. Once the May update is live, there will be a special Mythic Championship Qualifier event previewed in-game. This will be an event for you to join day 1. The format will be best of 3 standard, including an optional 15 card sideboard. It's interesting that it's like the best of 3 optional sideboard. You'd figure most people are going to play sideboards, but it is optional. They're not going to force you. You can join the Mythic Championship Qualifier event on May 25th. It starts at 6 a.m. You must have joined by 7 a.m. Wow. It starts at 6 a.m. PT, which is 1300 UTC. Not really familiar with those time zones in all honesty. You must have joined by 7 a.m. Pacific time in order to participate. They're making you get up early. I don't like that. I don't like that. You will no longer be able to join matches after 4 p.m. Any matches currently in progress as of 4 p.m. will be allowed to complete. It strongly encourages you to begin playing as soon as possible after the event starts to allow you to play all of your matches. So you're not going to be matched up against specific people like you would if you went to like a physical event. This is going to be done in a different way. And you can find more information about that if you check out the Mythic Championship Qualifier Weekend Day 1 guide. It goes into more detail. Now let's move on to something else of interest. Best of 3 match clock. Speaking of the Mythic Championship Qualifier Weekend, we will also be implementing a match clock in addition to our turn timers for our best of 3 formats. Each player will have 30 minutes on their respective match clock that will count down whenever that player has priority, for a total of 60 minutes per match between the 2 players, excluding sideboarding, which does not use the match clock. If a player uses all of their allotted time before the match finishes, they will be given a match loss. And this is a match clock, not a game clock, a match clock. Keep that in mind. So that means all 3 of your games have to be completed within that time frame. Players will be able to mouse over their timers to see the current time remaining on their match clock, and it will automatically become visible once their match time starts to run low. So they're going to keep the clock off the screen for the majority of the time so you don't keep staring up at it. Once you start to run out of time, it'll show up on your screen to stress you out. Why here, why now? Well, we've always said that Magic Arena would provide an authentic digital Magic experience, and this is part of it. Since we're currently using a best of 3 format for our in-game competitive event, we felt adding a match clock was one of the things that was needed if we wanted to continue to provide an authentic experience when compared to our competitive tabletop counterparts. Now keep in mind, it says since we're currently using a best of 3 format. I fully expect that this is going to go away. I fully expect that we're going to be moving to a best of 1 environment, and that also falls into the bad and ugly categories depending on how you look at things. If you are a traditionalist who really enjoys 2 to 3 matches with sideboards and thinks that's the highest testament of Magic skill, I've got bad news for you. Those days are numbered. With the way that they've changed the MPL and everything else, them banning things like Nexus of Fate because they're not fun to watch in best of 1, we can reasonably expect that best of 3 events won't last the test of time. We're going to see those disappear. That is my estimation of what's going to be happening with Magic the Gathering. And it says, and while a match clock was added specifically for the Mythic Championship Qualifier Weekend, it will also be used in all other best of 3 events in Magic Arena. Honestly, I think including a timer is a really smart idea, because depending on how things go, the games could drag out a lot longer. And considering you have to try and get as many wins as you can during this event, I believe that's how it works. You have to try and crank out as many wins as you can, as opposed to just beating the specific. It's not like there's going to be X number of rounds. I think the faster you play, the more games you may get to play and the more wins you can rack up, but your losses will also count against you. So there is a balancing there, but make sure you check out the day 1 guide if you're a part of it, because I'm not 100% on that and I don't want to steer you wrong. So beyond that, we'll see. We want to monitor how a match clock will impact our best of 3 formats first, as well as allow time for feedback from players such as yourselves before we consider making changes to other events or play queues in MTG Arena. We're still living in a world of iteration, and this is just one of the things we'll continue to work on as we bring you the best experience we can in Magic Arena. Next up, the basic land filter. To wrap things up, we're happy to announce that with the May update, we'll be adding a long-awaited feature, the ability to choose your basic land illustration during deck building. When viewing your collection or using the deck builder, you'll now be able to select the basic land filter option to view all the available basic land illustrations in-game. And yes, this includes deck building during draft and sealed events. This new option also works alongside the other advanced filters, so you'll be able to filter by set and color identity to make your search for the perfect illustration easier. Playing in a War of the Sparks sealed event and you want your lands to match? Sure thing. Honestly, I like this. This is a small tweak. Now it does go on to say, please keep in mind that for now, basic lands will only be viewable if you have the basic land filter selected on the advanced filters page. If you try searching for Swamp or Island without selecting the basic land filter first, you won't get any results. And according to our law mages, basic lands are treated as their own rarity, which separates them from other land type cards in the game. This is also why the filter is up by the other card rarities. Selecting the other land filter option will continue to work as it previously has, limiting the results to non-basic lands and the 5 default basic land features. And the article finishes up by saying, that's it for May, new event series, new cosmetic options, and the first ever Mythic Championship qualifier weekend. The arrival of a long requested deck building feature coming to you next week on May 23rd. Maintenance information will be available on the status page, and then it just goes on to talk about Twitter. So for me, overall, I personally don't care about what's going on with the Mythic Championship. I think including the timers was a smart move on Wizards' part. I think giving us the ability to choose our land art, very nice. I'm a visuals guy, so getting to choose what you want to use specifically. Are you using the end spell? Well, then you want to have the swamps where all the sparks are flying off, right? That sort of thing. The elder spell, I should say, not the end spell. There's no such thing as the end spell. So using the elder spell, boom, there you go. Get all yourself some swamps with the sparks. But for me, nothing is as exciting as the stained glass walkers and the reworking of the events where you can play for free and play as much as you want. Play for free and play as much as you want should be mantras for Magic the Gathering Arena. So I'm going to say, well done with this batch. I'm going to say the good outweighs the bad and the ugly by a fair measure this time around. I'm actually growing more and more fond of Arena as time goes by. So all that being said, my friends, it's time for me to roll the golden scroll. These are the fantastic people who have my back on Patreon or through channel memberships. Thank you very much for supporting my channel. Makes me happy to see your name scrolling on by my sweet smiling face. And all that being said, I'm history, baby.